Paul's getting patriotic in there, man. No more black keys, man. Pulling out the... Oh, you're doing the Marine Corps hymn. That's cool. All right. That's for the colonel that just left. All right. Now we got Yeoman First Class, William Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
Who, from everybody that I've talked to, is a complete stud. So you're a... I'm not going to call you a submariner. I'm going to call you submariner, right? Because I learned that a submariner is not the same as a submariner.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So you're on the USS San Francisco, SSN 711, right?
Yes.
And 2014 Sea Sailor of the Year for Commander Submarine Force, U.S. Pacific Fleet.
Yes.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
That is awesome. So before we get into that too much, let's talk about kind of your background. Where are you from? Kind of what made you decide to join the Navy?
Okay, I'm born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia. What kind of made me join the military, I would say, is when I was coming up, you'll see Navy guys all the time in Norfolk.
In Norfolk, yeah.
All day long. So I was taught to a couple of them, and I wanted to travel and see the world. So I was working at a warehouse and really wasn't doing anything. I was going to school at ITT Tech. And then something just came across. I was like, I'm going to go talk to a recruiter and see what they got. And went and talked to him. Then he kind of talked to me about submarines. And I was like, submarines? I've seen it on TV. And so we went from there. He talked about it, took my ASVAB, offered me submarines, said it was a little bit extra money, so got me there.
like a lot of us enlisted guys, I had like an enlistment bonus. I'm like, I'll do whatever you want for an enlistment bonus. All right, cool. So the Navy became kind of the one that you kind of you that pulled you in that direction, huh? Yes. So, and then submarines, man, that's an interesting job, man.
Oh, yes.
So what's kind of the daily routine on a submarine?
So daily routines for a submarine, it's kind of, you never know what you're going to get when you go to work. Mm-hmm. We can be doing anything as far as doing maintenance, admin-related work, what I do most of the time. So I have me and two other guys, and as we work directly for the XO. So every day's of an adventure, I guess you can say. Mm-hmm. We come in there, we're working hard. It's kind of like you've seen a bee's hive before, and you see bees working in the hive. That's a submarine, especially a fast attack submarine that I'm on.
Yeah.
We're always working for the next adventure.
You know, like submarines are one of the things that just keep America just so dumb. You talk about the Navy in general. You talk about just the ability for us to control trade routes and kind of provide. I mean, it's just a difference maker. But the submarine force, especially, I mean, undetected, just anywhere. You don't know where they're gonna. I mean, just such a great deterrent. And such an amazing asset for the U.S.
Oh yes, you never know where we're going to end up being at. So,
so you're the Commander, Submarine Forces, U.S. Pacific Fleet Sea Sailor of the Year.
Yes, sir.
So how does that process work? Where how does that process look, and what's it like to have that honor?
It was a great honor. It's actually amazing. The process I went through. I started off. I was on deployment when we started doing all the Sailor of the Year stuff. Mm-hmm. I won it on my ship, Sailor of the Year. We was like in middle of the deployment, and we just got back, actually. So we came back in February. I found out that I was running up against Squadron 11, Sailor of the Year. So I got back, did that process. My wife wasn't happy.
Well, let's go back. So what were you, I mean, is it just, I mean, you must be a hard worker. You must be, I mean, what are the characteristics that they look for? Or what, you got, young sailors listening to you that, that are going to follow in your footsteps and stuff, and you're giving them advice on how to become Sailor of the Year because it's all about being doing your best and doing the So what are some of the things that you did to be considered and to be chosen?
What I tell everybody, like the things, I really didn't do anything special. I just did my job. I come to work. I'm ready to work. Like I try and make everything fun. Like I try and make it. I have an open mind about everything. So if you go in with an open mind, you make it fun. You stay confident with yourself, know what you want to do, and you go in there, you get it done. And in the long run, that's pretty much what it is. I got the attitude where I'm gonna go be the best in whatever I can be in. So if I'm involved in anything, I'm gonna try my best to be the best in it.
So spirit of excellence in everything you do.
Oh yes,
very, very important. So okay, so you were chosen. So how does it work? So does somebody from your command choose you?
Yes. So I was chosen by the chief's quarters on my command in the wardroom, and then my name went to Squadron 11 because that's our TICOM. So we went to Squadron 11. I won Squadron 11. After that, we went to Pack Fleet.
Was there like was there a board or something like that, or did you have to answer questions and?
Oh yes. So the worst board I had was when I won Sub Pack Seller of the Year. It was awesome, but they had some questions that kind of caught me off guard.
What threw you off, man?
Okay, one of the biggest questions that got me was what was my biggest failure in the Navy?
Oh, that's a good interview question.
Man, when he asked me, I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh. But
what'd you come up with?
Well, I had
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember exactly what I said.
Okay, well, I don't want to have you talk about your failures. Let's talk about your success. I don't want to force you to talk about the failures you had. But that's a good question, man. You know? So that caught you off guard. Pretty nerve-wracking doing the boards?
Oh, yes. Hands were sweaty. I was trying not to sweat.
Face your fear. Keep your bearing.
Oh, yes. You want to keep your uniform up to par. So it was fun, though. I had fun.
Man, that's awesome, man. So what's it like being has your daily duties changed at all, or has it changed kind of how people are looking at you, or how the leadership sees you, or how your younger sailors see you?
Well, it definitely changed. Everybody notices when you make Sailor of the Year, especially for Sub Pack, it's a big deal. So you get I guess you get a newfound respect. People look at you in a brighter light. Which is good because I like talking to new guys. I like talking to everybody, and I shared my experience with everybody, and it was fun. So I'm still taking it in right now. Every day, people still call me, "Hey, Sub Pack Sailor of the Year."
So when did you get that honor? When were you chosen?
So I was chosen for Sub Pack in the end of February.
Okay.
So we went from Sub Pack, and I had one more board to do for Pack Fleet. Which I was a finalist for, and that was the last scratch right there at Pack Fleet.
Wow, that's very cool, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, congrats on that, man. That's awesome, man, and thanks for being such a leader, man. So what's next? So what do you got going forward? What are your goals going forward in the future? Are you going to stick it out in the Navy? What are your thoughts?
All right, now I'm sticking it out. My wife's got my back. I got a 1-year-old son.
Oh, congrats!
So I want to go as far as I can. That's my attitude. I want to go as far as I can.
What? Just one son?
Yeah, I just have one son right now.
I always try. I have friends that I've got 3 kids, man, and I always try to tell my friends that don't have kids what it's like having kids, and it's hard to describe unconditional love.
Oh yes.
More than I would argue that it's hard to know exactly what that means until you have kids.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's very cool. So sticking out. So gonna go up, become a chief.
That's the plan. The plan is to go as far as I can. I want to actually one day make Master Chief, take my own boat.
That's awesome, man. What so how long you been in now?
So I've been in 9 years.
Wow, man. So first class, great trajectory, man. So when are you gonna? Did you just pick up? Or are you picking up?
No, I made first class 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm eligible now for Chief. This is my first look for Chief.
This has gotta be a big help, right?
Oh yes.
We'll have you back on to congratulate you when you're a chief, when the Chiefs mess, man.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very cool. So what would you say? We got about 1 minute left. Anybody considering joining the submarine force? What's your advice to them, or what would you say?
Hey, just make it yours. It's have an open mind, go into it knowing that you are chosen to be a submariner. We don't just choose anybody to come down and work with us. So it's gonna be tough, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have fun. Just make it fun.
An elite group, man.
Oh yes.
And you were chosen as the elitist of the elite.
Yes,
that's got to feel good, man.
Oh yes,
and
it does.
Man, it's really great to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this stuff with us and giving great advice to our listeners. And keep being a great leader, man. I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll be right back with Military Mondays in a couple minutes.